Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we got more bad news for Ubisoft. Apparently their sales were down 50%. And more layoffs and studio closures are likely. I don't even think Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to save them. And we're going to talk about that because apparently now they're saying that you don't have to play as Yasuke if you don't want to. You can go through the whole game without playing as him.
Why didn't they mention that till now?
Because I think they changed it.
Oh,
that's my personal opinion. I think they changed it at the last minute, but who knows? Who knows?
Could you change something like that at the last minute, though?
I don't know. I know they have multiple storylines in it, so it's possible that they just, I don't know, because they pushed it back.
It seems like an awful big thing to change at the last minute, but
we'll see what's going on here. But let's talk about their sales being down nearly 50%, and more studio closures likely. This comes from 80 level, and we'll talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Check out clownfishminus.com for more Plus Club stuff and also merchandise. So thank you very much for the support. So yeah, 80 level put this up. Ubisoft sales are down 50%. More layoffs and studio closures are likely. The studio's latest financial report proves that Assassin's Creed Shadows is its last chance at a comeback.
Oh no.
Oh,
well, that would not be what I'd want to bet on.
Don't want to bet on that horse. I'm just saying. They said with 2024 being the worst year in Ubisoft history due to a series of blunders and a lineup of sloppily made games. They have multiple links. Star Wars Outlaws, Call of Duty, X-Defiant. They said that failed to gain any attention and has been widely believed for some time now that should the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows underperform financially, it would spell the end for the once beloved developer.
Well, it's likely going to be the end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good. You've got Tencent waiting in the wings to buy them. It's either going to be Tencent or I think some Saudi company or something. Proving this belief to be true is Ubisoft's latest financial report, which puts into numbers the magnitude of the company's fall from grace and hints that 2025 will likely bring even more studio closures and layoffs. According to the report, for the third quarter, fiscal year 2024-2025, ending December 31st, 2024, IFRS 15 sales revenue from contracts with customers amounted to 318, is that euros? 318 million euros, a sharp 47.5% drop compared to the same period last year.
Oh, that's bad.
For the first time in 9 months of fiscal year 25, sales totaled 990 million, down 31% from the same time frame last year. Ubisoft's net bookings took an even bigger hit, reaching just 301 million in Q3, a whopping 51.8% year-on-year decline.
Yeah, that's not good. That is really not good.
With results like this, it's no surprise that a separate section in the report was dedicated entirely to their cost reduction plan, essentially saving money by shutting down projects, closing studios, and laying off developers left and right when translated from corporate speak into plain English. Thanks to the cancellation of X-Defiant and the closure of 4 production studios, Ubisoft boasts they are ahead of schedule and now expect to exceed 200 million in fixed cost reductions by the end of 25. Even more alarming is the final line of the section stating that Ubisoft plans to pursue these efforts in 26, going beyond the initial target by a significant margin. So yeah, they're going to keep cutting into 26.
Well, they have to at this point.
I mean, I don't think they're going to make it.
No, I don't think they're going to make it either, especially if they're betting on the next game, the Shadows. They're not going to. There's no way. Well, it's already not looking good for that.
They spelled it out because they tried to tell investors that things were going to be just fine when Star Wars Outlaws came out, and that wound up being a huge cluster. Mm-hmm. They came and went. And then they pushed Assassin's Creed Shadows back. I think they're just kicking the can down the road because they don't want to rip that Band-Aid off. They don't want the sales to hit and then be like, oh, this game was a huge effing disaster.
Well, it's going to be. They're trying to damage control, though, clearly.
Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to polish the game. We're going to push it back, 6 months. And then we're going to, shut a bunch of studios down and lay a bunch of people off and whatever. Yeah, it's not good. They said for how the company plans to recover, the report states that Ubisoft anticipates net bookings to grow in Q4 fiscal year 25 compared to last year, largely thanks to the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows in March. They expect net bookings of around 1.9 billion in this fiscal year.
This explains why they're pushing it in March anyway. Even though people are like, I don't know if March is a good thing, you might want to push it back. This will explain why they're pushing for it so hard.
Oh my God, $1.9 billion. And considering they only accumulated $944 million the first 9 months, that expectation definitely seems like wishful thinking. Despite all the controversy surrounding it, Shadows is unlikely to flop financially by virtue of being an Assassin's Creed title. I don't know about that. I think it might do okay because normies are going to buy it. But if it's not good, it's going to be a disaster. Mm-hmm. They said raking in $1 billion seems hard to imagine right now. So that's not good. Yeah, so okay. So let's talk about this. This is news to me. This is Bounding in the Comics has it. They said in an apparent backpedal from Yasuke, Assassin's Creed Shadows creative director reveals entire game can be played without switching characters. We're not imposing players try to split the time. So it's possible to play through the entire story as is it Naui and Yasuke without ever needing to switch to the other character. So they're not going to force you to play as Yasuke.
Well, see, that would have had to been, they had been doing that for a while, unless that's one of the reasons they pushed it back, because you can't just suddenly play the whole game with one character unless it was, they added that. Because when they're making the game and they want you to switch between characters, you're going to have to go back and redo a whole bunch of stuff if you're going to have the one character play the whole way through, unless they planned it. So I'm thinking they had to have planned it. That might be one of the reasons they pushed it back.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
The narrative is that they're complementary. This is that they had an interview, I guess, with Game Rant. They're complementary, but they tell the story from two different sides. So that's a little bit, the thing that we wanted was you to discover Japan. If you don't know too much about Japan.
With the Chinese architecture?
The Chinese yeah, apparently the Japanese, now I'd have to look into it a little bit more, but apparently the Japanese are demanding that they take out one of the levels. I guess you can kill people in a temple, and they're not real happy with that. They're not happy.
Yeah, I can see why. I can see why.
They said Yasuke is a stranger.
This is a train wreck.
That is in nobility. So you sort of see it from two sides. And I think it complements them well working together. They're both quite lovable. They're both quite lovable characters.
Okay, can't wait.
Jeez. So yeah, they just kind of go on about it. But it's like, look, they're going to try to puff this game up to be the bestest thing ever because this is it. This is their last chance. And this is not the game I'd be betting the farm on.
Yeah, it does sound like it's really the last chance. I mean, it's bad. Like, it's way worse than I thought.
Oh, my God. So are we going to wrap this one up?
Yep.
All right. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.